You are now tuned in to Like What the Fuck podcast.
What up?
Yes, so happy that you guys are tuned in. This week we're going to be talking about motherhood
A small
and why
part.
we don't want any parts.
We're going to talk about a small part of motherhood. Because it's a lot. It's a lot to cover. But we're going to talk about the reason we don't want to be mothers.
Yeah. And honestly, this is just a piece of it. I don't think that this is going to really be all encompassing, but we're really going to get to the nitty gritty. We really want to jump into the statistics that we found and see what you guys think about the following. So according to the Pew Research Center, they did a study in 2017. 1 in 4 mothers are raising their children on their own, while most U.S. mothers are married, 68%. Nearly 1/4 are single mothers. Black women, 56% are single, and about 8% are cohabitating with the child's father. So only about 37%. And then when you look at in comparison to white or Hispanic, there's a significant higher rate of marriage in those communities.
Being honest, though, it's rising in all communities.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Black women, it did used to be, crazy higher amount. But at this point, you see them all coming out. And it doesn't even have to be, I feel like, in the Black community, it starts at birth. It starts before birth, that they're not, they're single mothers. But a lot of these women are waking up. They're divorcing their husbands. They're leaving their boyfriends. They're, getting away from these incompetent men. So it's not just, from birth type of thing.
We also need to really break from this idea that just because you're married, that means that life is going to be peachy. It's not.
Not at all.
We'll get into that.
We will.
Also, according to this study, they found that roughly 77% of women face pressure to be an involved parent, while on the other hand, 49% of men face pressure to be involved with their children. And this to me was kind of interesting, and I really wanted to talk about this particular piece of research because usually it's just like sticking to the facts, and it doesn't really dig into like the pressures that people face, or I just really enjoyed that they touched on that point.
Because it's just all stuck on the mom. Like, if anything happens to the child, people are gonna look at the mother first. It doesn't matter if y'all are together. If your child goes up missing, they're gonna, why weren't you with your kid?
Right.
The kid could literally have been with the dad. The kid could be with the dad for the day. Where were you?
Yes.
Like, men are not looked at as equal caregivers, but we're definitely going to get into that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're tired of it. I'm over it.
Yeah. Another piece of info that I wanted to touch on that I found is that according to this study, when we're looking at countries of high economic stature, the U.S. is literally in last place when it comes to maternal mortality, which is basically the death rate after a woman has a baby, which roughly is about 700 to 1,000 women per year are dying after they have their kids. So we're not talking about people, the complications of childbirth. We're talking about she had the baby, everything's fine, and boom.
Yeah.
She just dies.
They don't care about us.
And 50% of the maternal death rates happen after, just to make a point, 50% of the death rate is happening after these women are having these babies. So that just, the postpartum part of having a baby is a very crucial time, and it's very important for these women to have midwives. And truthfully, in America, they don't have, they're just understaffed.
They don't care.
that they're understaffed here and they don't have enough OBGYNs and midwives to go around. I feel
Yeah.
like most women don't even think about having a midwife.
Yeah, I honestly don't even think it's a understaffed issue. They literally don't care about us. Like, they get what they want. They get the baby, they
Well,
get the
the
worker.
statistics are in. It is also a fact that we just don't have enough. But yes,
Yeah.
they also and also they don't care about us. We don't get enough time paid off when we're,
Yeah,
after we have these babies. It's about a good 6 weeks and then you gotta get back to it. In other countries they get paid
exactly.
for months.
They get care
Mm,
boxes, like, years
yeah.
worth of clothes. Like, they don't care about us. Like, they could find the workers. Like, they literally do not care about us. They look at us as baby making machines, and that's all we're good for. Even the men that we have the children for with, they want us to go back to work. They don't, oh, you're not about to just be sitting around the house and
Ugh.
what? Like, it's not even the fact, they look at it from like a standpoint of like, okay, yeah, you can stay home and take care of our kid, but when our kid is ready to go to school, you need to go back to work. Like, they don't care about us.
Yeah.
No one cares about us as women and like our needs and everything that we want. It's about, once the child comes in that scenario, it's only about the kids. It's like, fuck us.
So that leads me to my next statistic that I want to touch upon. I read a study that looked at women in Spain, and it basically stated that the quality of life diminishes between 1 and 3 years of having after having a child. So it could happen primarily like within that year of having a baby. Postpartum comes into play. So yeah, this study basically looked at the quality of life of these women, and they realized that more likely within that year you're going to see issues with the woman, but even up to 3 years later you can see her quality of life diminish.
I'm so happy. It's like a block was lifted or something. Like, the amount of women who are being transparent about, don't have kids because it literally ruins your life. Like, they love their kids to death, but they admit that having children ruins your life. The amount of women that are like finally coming out and saying
Yeah.
it it's scary. It's
Yeah.
really scary. It's crazy. And I'm so happy they're being transparent because that is the dream that they sell us. That's
Hmm.
all we have, to live for and this and that. Like, I'm so happy more women are like, live your life. Like, don't
Yeah,
think,
and to your
yeah,
point, I've honestly, I'm so grateful that I got on TikTok and I've been just scrolling
literally.
and watching the content and seeing what people have been talking about, because I feel like if I wasn't on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, I would just feel like I'm crazy,
Yeah.
because it's not just one woman, it's not just 10 women. We see videos
Daily.
all the
Daily.
time.
I probably sent you 3 videos today about women,
Exactly.
hating
Exactly.
their life. Love their children. Don't get me wrong. They love their
Hmm.
children, but they hate their life now. And it's
Yeah.
not just because, it's not, oh, only the single women or only all of them, regardless what
Yeah,
situation they're in. That shit falls on them.
for
Nobody else.
sure.
Nobody else. It literally changes your life because we're sold this dream. And I think, obviously this account is, for one, definitely about accountability, but we want to try to paint a new picture for life, just in general, period, for men and women, but especially for
Yeah,
women.
so
Like,
people can stop walking into these situations blind, because the reality is
blind, yeah,
these people get into these situations not thinking that, oh, it's going to be a certain way, or not realizing why they're in these situations and they feel crazy, and it's like, well, it's a whole another level of responsibility that you didn't even realize that you're taking on, just by thinking
mm-hmm,
that you're falling in love with somebody and having
mm-hmm,
a baby. Like,
or not
no.
even blind. The amount of women I know that's just what it is. That's just what I thought it was. Like, I have family members that basically, like, they knew what they were signing up for in a way. They just that's what they thought, it was all about. Like, yeah, this is what you do. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are just accepting it for like, oh yeah, I know this is what it is and this is just how life goes. No.
Yeah.
No, times are so different.
Yeah,
We have so much more, power to do whatever we want, and we need to take advantage of that.
for sure.
Literally. Because that ain't it. This ain't
It
it.
really ain't.
This is not it. Like, and let's get started on how it literally changes your body
Yeah,
to
because
alien inside of you.
yeah, because that's what I was gonna get to next. So for the body, obviously your skin's gonna change. Your feet gonna swell, your breasts gonna get bigger. Blah.
Stretch
We know
marks.
all the
Yeah.
basics, right?
Right.
But the things that stuck out to me were, you literally risk when you have a baby. You literally risk having incontinence or loss of bladder control. So you could be driving in your car,
Just pee on yourself.
you could piss yourself. And it's literally because your vaginal muscles are weakened when you're delivering a baby. Like it's just anatomy, and it just is what it is. But unfortunately, more than likely, you are gonna lose some control over your pelvic floor when you have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
other thing that popped up, and I was like, "Excuse me," it's this phenomenon called gain a child, lose a tooth. I saw this, I was like, wait a minute. So apparently, women between 35 and 49 who have had at least one child on average have lost at least two teeth.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And also, if you do not have good dental health, it can literally lead to you having a preterm delivery, which means that your baby will come early, all because your mouth might not be up to par. And I know a lot of people who don't go to the dentist, so
Can't go to the
I don't
dentist. Let's
even
not
want to
even say
hear. I
don't.
better not see not one
Can't
comment like that's not like bullshit.
can't go to the dentist. Not don't.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't have a choice. Healthcare,
Exactly.
these
Exactly.
jobs and wages and benefits.
And
Mm-mm.
we already touched
We
that.
already
So
touched that, but yeah, don't nobody got time for
so yeah.
$30 to come out their check to go to the dentist. Like, a tooth
So
fall out, I'll go get it fixed. So that's insane. That's terrifying.
it is terrifying.
Aliens. They're aliens. They're beautiful little aliens, but they're aliens.
To further the ripping the part of apart your body, there's a thing called abdominal separation. And I've witnessed this in some of my friends who have had kids. Apparently, in the late stages of your pregnancy, your body will make room and your abs will literally separate apart from one another so that the baby can feel comfortable and get ready to change and come down. But by a year postpartum, somewhere between a third to more than two-thirds of women will retain some separation between their abdominal muscles. And it's crazy that I read this here because I literally witnessed my friend. She was like, like she snapped back and all the things. She had two kids. Her kids are probably like 7 at the time. And she's like, yeah, like my abs still separate. And I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like,
I would throw up.
I was like, what? She was like, yeah, they just haven't snapped back. And at the time I was like word of silence. So I had all these spanks and I was like, let me give you some of these. Maybe this will help like push them babies back together. And honestly, after a while, she said it did help. But like, we're
That's
talking years
scary.
after she had her kids. Her kids is walking and talking and going to school.
That's
And
scary.
talking about her abs is still separated. And she's like model thin.
Yeah. I'm good. And then, so basically, overall, you just become this like disgusting creature, and don't let you have like a emotionally unintelligent man. Like, it's just
That can't
postpartum,
that
just
can't
everything on top of
uh,
everything. I actually watched
uh,
a video today where a lady said she read a study where basically if you have a good partner, a partner that is
right.
emotionally available for you, and just there throughout the whole pregnancy, really there, he actually like goes through his own type of pregnancy symptoms as well. Like, he's kind
Yeah,
of
like his
connected to you.
testosterone will like dip as well.
Like, just everything. Like, he'll lose weight, just different things that,
Mm.
that men can go through. But he's literally connected to you. And that's because, I mean, that's how it should be. We're having a baby. But if they are, just an asshole, could be less than a fuck, nothing. Nothing. And the point of the video was that they're most likely to cheat if they are emotionally available before the child is coming and that.
Mm.
So the men that are more so available to you, they won't cheat and they will most likely have pregnancy symptoms. So that was just
Mm.
really like crazy to me. So this is how many, stories do we hear about, the man cheating on the pregnant woman?
So while we're on the topic of men being involved or not being involved, ultimately, after you have said baby, you potentially could become everybody's a mother in the household, including your husband's.
I would throw up out my ass.
I would literally gone girl because I could never. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, you and that baby gonna be sitting up looking at each other confused because I'm out of here.
Yeah, and the amount of this happening unintentionally. So many women are raised to mother men. So
Right.
even before the baby is there. And that
Right.
leads to cheating too, because so many men are used to that catering of their woman. Now,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I got competition. Oh, you're not doing it. Grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But no, that is really a issue because now you got 2 kids or 3 kids. Like, yes, that man, but I think that's the issue too. A lot of women don't take accountability that man was already your child before the baby came. There's,
Right.
I
It's almost like we're not reading the writing on the wall. It's
right.
like if he never, took initiative before the baby came, did you think the baby was gonna make him
Better? No, it wasn't gonna make him grow up. Mm-mm. At all, because they don't care, and they'll tell
no.
you. Like, this day and age, they will tell you they do not care. So
Yeah.
let's stop creating whole children. Doing these big dramatic things to try to like prove a point because it's not worth it. It's
Yeah.
not worth your life is not worth proving a point to this man or whatever.
Yeah.
We gotta put our pride to the side, ladies. We really do.
You gotta put your pride to the side and try to find another one or just be happy
Just be
living
happy.
your best life
Don't
by
even try to
yourself.
find another one. They will find you. Like,
That part.
just live your life. Stop trying to prove a point. Stop. That's it.
Yeah.
Next time. Because, mm-mm, mm-mm. It's not worth it. Oh,
It's really not. Because literally
mm-mm.
is it as one of my favorite TikTokers to follow, she's a older woman, more mature woman. She has a kid, divorced her husband because he cheated on her, all these things. She will tell you straight up, that baby is yours.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get to that. Anyway, so my favorite and the most enlightening thing that I probably could have ever come across on TikTok is this phenomenon called weaponized incompetence. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, this is when your man, whether it's your boyfriend, it's your baby daddy, your husband, who the man or
Co-parenting.
person in your life, because a woman can weaponize incompetence as well. This person is basically lagging on tasks in hopes that you will just go ahead and get frustrated and complete it yourself. So I was watching this one TikTok and the girl was like, am I the asshole because I was super petty and saw that my boyfriend was weaponizing his incompetence and I used it against him and I just played coy? And I'm like, first of all, it worked because he realized that, like, oh, maybe he should clean the fuck up or maybe he should be more responsible for
Mm-hmm.
certain things around the household. But I'm like, girl, who's teaching a lesson? I'm not raising a man.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not.
So please tell me what you think about this whole phenomenon about weaponizing competence. Because I think it's very interesting and I love that we have words for this shit. Because it's been
I
going on
just
for years.
think when it comes to, in the parenting, motherhood aspect of it, um, they just love to use it against you. And it's like really sad because not only do they use it against you, but it's kind of like the whole world uses it against you because, like I said, at the end of the day, mothers are looked at as the primary caregiver.
Yeah.
So a man can do something and, you can go to whoever, his mom, your mom, whoever, just to vent. And they're going to basically tell you, like, that's your baby. And kind of use weaponizing competence against you as well. Like, it's just no one is on your side, especially when it comes to motherhood and weaponizing competence. And that's whether you're, co-parenting, like you just got a baby daddy, or y'all are like together, a family unit, and that's your husband. Like, nobody is really going to be on your side because at the end of the day, women are looked at as the primary caregiver and men are just looked at as just fucking there. Like, the amount of women, like I said this in another video, the amount of women that have to ask their partner to watch the child while they go out. Just fucking leave.
Not even go out. I've seen countless videos of women like, can you take care of the baby while I go take a shower? You know how insane that is?
Sick. The amount of videos I see where women are like, it's like a trend. Like, they go up to their husband and ask them to change the diaper. Oh, he hasn't done it in 6 years. We're on our third baby. So he never did it. And you have more kids with him.
And it's really crazy because that part. You have more kids with him. Insane. But also it's really crazy because to me, it just seems like it comes from a place of lack of empathy, lack of compassion, and lack of accountability and responsibility to this life that you're creating with someone else. Like, you're telling me and you are grown ass people and you expect me to literally be the fucking maid here?
Exactly.
What?
And I think another thing is that ladies really get caught up on, and I think men know it, honestly. Kind of like that Kardashian phenomenon. Like, I know it's looked down upon, but in my opinion, life is about having the best experiences possible. It's okay to leave that man.
Yeah.
It's okay to leave that man after you have one child with him and go find another man and have another kid, and that be your family and that be like your best experience in life and your best relationship ever. It's okay. You don't have to stay with that man just because you started a family with him and you want to make it work, because it's not working. It's not working.
Because the reality is that no matter how much vetting, how much,
You just never know.
you just never know. That person could turn around and be a whole different person later on down the line. So I respect it if you get the strength to walk away, but honestly, to continue to have multiple babies with a man who just shows you over and over and over again that he's not going to be there for you and provide for you beyond just a paycheck and a house, like
barely that.
Exactly, because most women are most households are dual income at this point.
So while we're on the topic of, men are looked at as equal caregivers and, the mother shaming and, I feel like also however that child turns out, that outcome of them is blamed on the mother at the end of the day. What do you think about women are blamed for the absent father, pick better, thing? Like,
I think on one hand, I'm like, oftentimes the writing is on the walls. You have to be very, very, very realistic about who you're entering in a relationship to have a baby with, right? But also, why does the mother have to brunt all, like, why does she has to carry the baby, she gotta raise the baby, she gotta take care of the baby 90% of the time? Like, what's wrong with people?
And the man gets a pat on the back for, oh, you picked a good one.
Yeah.
You picked a good one. You picked a good baby mama.
Have a woman have your child or marry you is literally a status symbol in this country.
Literally. That's all
because in other countries, oh, they at least they bringing the money home. At least they got you a house. At least they really doing something for you. You still got to go 50-50 with somebody here when you have a baby with them. Like, a lot of y'all are not providing fully for these women. And don't get me started on the fucking child support warriors. Like,
Mm-hmm.
please, y'all are not really paying for nothing. Y'all are just reimbursing groceries
Literally,
with them little
at this
payments
point.
that y'all got.
At this point, I think that just no responsibility is being really put on the men. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you can say this pick better shit. You can say all that, but at the end of the day, we are literally enabling, raising, just all that, these incompetent ass little boys. Because that's what they
Mm-hmm.
are. They're not men. They're little boys. And I just think that if I don't even know how they have to take initiative. It's nothing we can do because they don't even respect us.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I think I sent you the video earlier. It was about, a man saying, men are the reason why OnlyFans and strip clubs and
Mm-hmm.
all this is still open. If they stopped supporting it, it would be out of business. What drives all that? Men and their money, men and their fantasies and greed and, just disgustingness.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to take initiative and say, I want to be a better person. I want to, like,
Right.
it's really nothing we can do. Obviously, look at the words on the wall. Yeah, you can pick better than this one. But at the end of the day, it's really, I don't want to say it's really something wrong with all of them, but for the most
Mm-hmm.
part, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
not, it's the whole pie. Like,
Yeah.
the whole pie was made together. All I'm doing is trying to cut a slice.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just trying to cut a good slice.
a
And,
good slice, but the pie, if
I
it's
do,
all baked together.
I do, I do encourage women to, if you decide at the end of the day, like, hey, you know what, I want to have a baby, and that's the hill I'm going to die on. That's your business, but I encourage you to have really good boundaries. Vet the shit out of that motherfucker. Meet all his family, meet all his friends, all that shit, and really have your antennas up. Do all those things.
Or just get a sperm
But at
donor.
the end of the day, be prepared to take full responsibility if the switch happens. I'm sorry, like, I don't want to make people feel bad for their choices, but ultimately I don't want to keep seeing women get up on the internet and be like, "Oh, why is it just me?" It's like, okay, but you decided to you chose that. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to have a baby. You thought you was going to have a baby and I was going to keep him. And actually, you're just put up on the shelf and you're just a fucking trophy at this point.
Oh, let's not even get into shelving. That's why they act crazy.
That's
Why
why
they
they
act
act
crazy.
crazy.
After you have that baby, you know the whole little phenomenon. Oh, he switched up when I had the baby because he shelved you. He
Yeah,
got you for life, babe. He doesn't
yeah,
care anymore. That shows his character for sure.
yeah,
He shelved you. Like, he doesn't care anymore. He can act how he wants. Oh, I got this bitch on my arm forever. Like, I got this
yeah.
bitch on my dick forever. We got a kid
Right.
together. I got her for at least 18 years. I can get on her nerves for at least 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
I got somewhere that I can definitely lay my head on for
Uh-huh.
at least 18 years.
Yeah,
Shelved. He's on to the next.
yeah.
That's that.
That's
That's
just
that.
what it
There's
is.
no, oh, why did they switch up? Because he's shelving you.
Yes.
Because he has poor character trait, which most men have, and they don't care. They don't fucking care. They don't give a fuck about you. But that's my point. That's our point. Vet the fuck out of these niggas. Stop. You should not be having a baby with somebody within a year.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. Oh, no, 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 no. That's unacceptable. You don't even know that person.
You don't even know that person. You don't even know that person. Like, at some point, it's like we're on, both ends. Yes, they are very shitty. That's really the issue at the end of the day. But to correct it a little bit, we have to take accountability and literally just
Yeah.
step back. We have to step
Yes.
back. And I think when we step back, they will step forward and be like, okay, we need to get our shit together because they're
Yeah.
not fucking with us at all.
Right.
I just think in the end, you're stuck being a mother before he's stuck being a father.
Yeah. Y'all are stuck with the titles, but you're stuck with the responsibility.
Yes. You're stuck with the real responsibility. Like, oh, oh, God forbid he has the burden of having the title of being a father. I'm a dad. You don't do shit.
You don't even know. You couldn't even handle taking your kid to a doctor's appointment. You don't know nothing. You can't fill out that paperwork for that baby, please.
Girl, this guy I was dating, I asked him, "What's your daughter's teacher's name?"
Oh,
I couldn't tell you that.
oh,
What's her best friend's name? I don't know. Do you know the child? What's the child's name?
right.
What?
You just have to really soak in the reality, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not willing to fork over my womb, because you really have to understand that your life will be ruined. Your identity is gone. Your body is not the same body. And you will be dedicating your life to other people when you decide to have a baby or become a wife, or even when you partner up and you quote unquote pick wrong. These are the things that you're setting yourself up for.
These are. And I just think in the end, we need to create a new happy ending, a new fairy tale. You know, fulfill yourself. I
Yes.
think, you know how we have this narrative, rich auntie.
I
want
love
us
that.
to,
I love that narrative.
I
I would
love the
love to be a
narrative,
rich auntie.
but at the same time, I want us to kind of switch that up. Like I love the narrative, but I kind of want us to stop using it in the way that we use it. Let's just be a rich girl. Let's all stop being these tired moms, worn out moms, and just be rich girls. Like you don't have to be an auntie anymore. Let's all stop being moms.
Yeah.
Let's be rich girls. Like let's just fulfill ourselves. Let's stop trying to be somebody auntie.
Yeah, go out there, touch some grass, see a couple of countries that's not Puerto Rico and Tulum and Bali. Let's see the world.
Yeah.
Let's do some
Self-fulfillment.
things, accomplish some things, and then decide, oh, I
And you
would
don't
like
even
to
have
be
to
a mother.
decide then. You don't even have to decide then. Just because we were gifted, the superpower to do it doesn't mean we have to take advantage of it. We don't. We don't. Our key thing, I feel like, on this earth is to fulfill ourselves. If you feel like a child will fulfill you, then so be it. But that is not what we are here
That
put
is not our
on this
sole
earth.
purpose.
That is not
That
our
is not
sole
the
purpose
only thing that
that
you
we
can
can do.
accomplish.
That is not all that we can do.
Thank you so much for listening to this discussion. Tell us what you think about what we had to say. I mean, if you have a rebuttal, we're down to talk about it, talk through it.
Yes, please.
And we'll see you next week.